This is the video that I wish that I had seen when I started out selling stuff online. And if you have any sort of business, any size of business, this is going to help you probably more than anything that I could teach you. And the reason why is because I know that this is just one video that you're going to watch today and one of hundreds of videos that you're going to watch this month. And we're inundated now with so many people with expertise. And some of these people are smart, some of these people are not smart, some of these people want to use you for your money, some of these people actually want to help you, some of these people are in the middle on both parts. But the point is that you are getting thousands of different communications every single day of things to do, places to put your ads, places to put your sales page, ways to write your sales pages, people to send your emails to, all of this stuff. And when I started out, I was extremely overwhelmed. I was completely paralyzed by all of the things that I saw that other people were doing that I wanted to try. And I needed somebody who had played the game to teach me how to play the game so that I knew what I was doing. Because I'm a pretty hard worker, but I realized that, okay, every single time that I would, learn something new, I didn't know for sure that this was the thing I wanted to do. And so when I would put stuff out to market, I would kind of, half-ass it, excuse my French, but I would not go my hardest because I didn't know if this was the exact right thing that was going to propel me forward and for a long amount of time. I didn't know if this was the right decision. And so I'm going to teach you how to break down what the right decisions are. I'm not going to tell you this is what you should do. I'm going to tell you here's how to evaluate the right thing to do. This is how to look at advice that people give you on a very holistic scale on, oh, okay, this is going to affect my business in a positive way over here, but in a negative way over here, right? This is what I should do. This is what I should not do. Here's how to play the game of marketing, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the rules. And you're like, oh my God, rules, Joe? I hate rules. But rules and best practices are a fantastic way to start. And the reason that they're a good place to start is because these are the distillation of thousands of years of people doing marketing, of people putting stuff out to market, seeing what the market responds to and what people like and why they buy and who they buy from and why they choose the products that they do buy and the services that they do buy. These best practices, by definition, are going to be average, right? They're going to be okay. They're not going to get you exceptional results. They're just going to be what has worked in the past. Not great. It hasn't worked great, but it's worked okay. Okay? So Shakespeare was exceptional, right? And he was an outlier. And if everything had one set of rules that everybody followed, every single business would be the exact same and there would be no breakthroughs or exceptional results. And scale would be normal, but it's not. Scale is exceptional because of this, okay? So here's how to play. Here's how to play the game. Follow all the rules at the beginning, okay? And then when you have solid controls, then you should break the rules. Not before though, because that's going to cause you to spend time, it's going to spend money, and it's going to spend, most importantly, your energy backtracking on the things that don't work. So get a firm foundation. Get the rules down and the best practices and what's called first principles of that thing down. So first principles are a basic of, it's a mental model. And I don't know who started it, but I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about it in terms of rocketry. I can't remember who the interview was, but Elon Musk was talking about first principles of rocketry. And he was saying that basically the first principles of the universe are physics, right? So no matter how much power you have, even if you harness the power of the sun, you would still have to factor in how much power per capacitor you're pulling in. That's even if you have unlimited power, you still have to measure it in this first principle, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of hard to get your brain around. I probably shouldn't have gone bigger to explain something real small, but whatever. A first principle is a basic fundamental of the thing that you're studying or trying to get results from. And so we're going to use those fundamentals to get pretty good results. We don't have to knock it out of the park straight at the beginning. Okay, and then once we do have those controls, then we should break the rules, right? And then we measure the breaks against the controls and give things enough time to produce a worthy result. And if we give them enough time and they do produce a result, then fantastic, that's our new control. But if they don't, and they don't do better than the control, then we continue to use the control. That's why it's a control. right? It's going to give us average results, but we want slightly above average every time that we do this. And so you can play this on a cosmic scale. You can play this on everything. You can also play this on very minuscule things. I'm going to give you an example of how you can do this on a very, very minuscule scale, and just kind of reiterate this on everything in your business. This is just kind of the mentality that you should have when you're doing something in your business, no matter what it is, whether it's customer service, new customers in, customer retention, customer delighting, customer satisfaction, whatever it is, you're going to want to play it like this. Okay, and again, you can play the entire business like this, or you can separate it into segments. I separate it into segments, but again, I'm not telling you what to do in this video. I'm telling you how to evaluate what to do. Okay, so if it doesn't beat the control, again, don't use it, right? Like we just talked about. So here's an example if you're running ads on Meta. Um, on any platform that I do, this is what I use. Okay, I get a control base and then I measure things against that control. So the basics of Meta will get you pretty far, like Meta Blueprint or Facebook ads blueprint. I can't remember what it's exactly called, but it's just like, okay, here's how the machine works. Here's how the campaigns and the ad sets and the audiences work. And you put this out there, great. You know, it will get you decent results, right? That's okay for the basics, all right, and that's going to get you pretty far. But you can't rely on this to produce profits because everybody is doing this. Okay, so at the very best, this might allow you to break even on your purchases. Okay, so learn the system, run with those best practices, and get some average results, and then test on top of that. Okay, so if you're getting consistent results in the door, people are consistently buying from you, now you have something to test. It doesn't have to be profitable for you to test it. It just has to be consistent. So if you're getting consistent purchases every day, let's say you're getting 10 purchases a day just starting out, right? And those 10 purchases a day are coming in and you're losing $2, $5 on every purchase. Cool. Now we have something to test. Now what can we test? Well, let's try the audience. Let's switch the audience. And every single time that we test something, we want to change just one thing, right? So we'll change that audience to maybe a lookalike or an interest group, or a different interest group or a broad audience. So here's what I do specifically. I launch to a broad audience using creatives like the structure of creatives I've used in the past, and then using copy on a template that I know works for others. So usually like a problem call out, like a question call out on the problem, and then explaining to them probably the new solution of why they're not solving that problem, and then giving them a link to go order and then go check out more information. And then under that, I give bullets of benefits on the next page of the benefits of clicking. And then I do the link again, and then I do a little bit of a sign off. All right. And then I have emojis kind of put in there. And that's the structure that I use on this. All right. And then I get the results from that. I put that out there, and then I tweak one thing at a time and see what happens. 7 to 14 days is a good enough time for ads, like paid advertising, to get a result, okay, that you can measure against. So again, I use broad first, and maybe the next audience that I use is a lookalike or an interest group, right? Or an interest group stack, And then the next thing, after I've gotten that, if the broad audience continues to do better, then that's fine. I'll leave it be. And then I'll switch up the creatives, right? I'll switch up the picture or the video that I'm using. Okay, and I'll switch that to something else, but I'll still run it to this broad audience and with the same copy, only one thing at a time from the base. Okay? So that is the example from meta ads. And again, you can reiterate this for everything in your business. Every single thing that you do, you just reiterate it, right? So for a sales page, the exact same thing. You write the sales page using best practices, using a template that you know has worked, and then you just change one thing on the sales page every single time, every 7 days, let's say, and just kind of test that. Is it getting a higher conversion rate than it was getting last week? If it is, well, we'll keep the change. Do it for another 7 days. Is it getting a better result? Okay, well, it's not. All right, that's fine. Move back to what we had 7 days ago. Fix something else, like tweak something else, right? And that's it. So there's two ways that you can find a breakthrough. You can play the rules better than everybody else, right? You can play them better than everybody else by spending more money on them than everybody else, or having the best practices, meaning best practices from the guys who have done this for years, spent millions of dollars on it, and get their best practices instead of the free best practices available to you on YouTube. Or you can break the rules better than everybody else. And this is the one that's better for people that are doing less than $10 million a year, right? Breaking the rules better than anybody else in a systemized, mechanical, engineering type way is going to be the absolute best thing that you can do for your business as far as getting exceptional results go. Again, if the entire thing was based on rules, there would be no Shakespeare, right? If nobody broke the rules and there was just one system for everything, there would be no exceptional people. There would be no exceptional results. Scale would just be something that happens instead of something that happens to exceptional businesses. All right. So if you liked this video and you want to scale up and you want to grow your business without overwhelm, go to creativeroas.com and you'll have the opportunity to do that in 3 different ways. The first way is you can get a full breakdown for free of our proprietary system for growth. It's 3 steps. The entire system is kind of predicated on removing stuff from the business and then growing from the inside out instead of just having a process and stacking stuff on top. The second thing that you can do is a 2-step process that we use for our emails. All right, and this is how we grow through the third way of growth, which is increasing the amount of time somebody purchases from us. All right, and so when we do that, we make more money on the back end and we don't really have to worry about our ads. It's really cool. Again, free to download that as well. The third thing that you can do is probably the one that's going to be the most helpful. And this is where you can actually book a call directly with me, where I'll walk through your business with you. And so we'll look at where you're at, we'll look at where you want to go, and then we'll find that gap in the middle. All right, and over the 45 minutes on the call, which is the max, it doesn't have to be that long, on the call, we'll give you a blueprint that's going to have each milestone that you need from where you're at to where you want to go of closing that gap. And then daily things that you can do, tactical things that you can do to achieve those milestones and close that gap in a predictable, consistent way without the scale or without the overwhelm and anxiety that usually comes with scale. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to creativeroas.com and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope to talk to you soon.